Hey guys, how's that view? Is that better than what we had in the last acrylic blending video? I definitely think so. I was afraid you couldn't see what I was doing in that last video. So I got a new tripod, and I also have a microphone because the audio was just terrible in the last video. So I want to show you a better view of my acrylic blending method. Last time I did not have the second camera set up, so you couldn't really see what I was mixing and how I was mixing it. Now you're going to be able to see literally everything. First thing I want to talk about is canvas type. This is a stretch canvas 12 by 12 by Fredericks. And my favorite series of all of the Fredericks canvases is the Creative series. Now, they make a lot of different types of canvases, but I also like their canvas panels, which is what I use for a lot of my tutorials. The next thing is brushes. If you want to try out my acrylic blending method, you're definitely going to need some mop brushes. I got these at Hobby Lobby, and I also use mop brushes by Color by Felix. Now, unfortunately, all mop brushes do shed, but I'll show you some tricks during the demonstration on how to get rid of those and how to fix a few mistakes if anything should happen. Now, another important thing to remember with your brushes, besides being goat hair, is you need several of them. Now, I probably have a little more than what I actually need, but sometimes I make a mistake and I get dark paint in the light paint, or I just mess something up. So having an extra mop brush, a clean extra mop brush to kind of blend something away, it just really comes in handy. Next is the paint type that I like to use. I really like mixing a thicker paint like Color by Felix with something really thin like golden fluid acrylics. I also use craft paint because they're extremely easy to blend with. So speaking of paint, I always mix up my colors before I start painting. I want to have enough paint mixed up so that I don't run out. I'm not going to have time to mix up more paint right in the middle of trying to blend. I always keep a cloth or a rag handy. I use this to wipe off excess paint from my brush while I'm blending. And what else do I need to mention? Oh, use a lot of paint. Even if you think you've got enough paint out, get a little bit more. Most of the time, blending issues that people have can be fixed by simply using more paint. So let's get into the demonstration. I want to get out all of my paint. And like I said before, I want to mix up my color first. I'm going to use Prussian Blue Golden Fluid Acrylics and Burnt Umber Color by Felix. So I'm mixing a thicker paint with a thin paint. I'm also going to use Craft White and Black. I'm going to mix this color up and see if it's enough. Now that is really dark on my plate. I can barely tell what color it is. From where I'm sitting, it almost looks black. So what I like to do is get out a little bit of white paint, which I'm going to need white paint anyway, so I'll just go ahead and get that out. I'm going to grab a little bit of white paint and I'm going to mix it in. Let me bring it over here so you can see a little better. Oh, it's all going to run off the plate though. I'm going to mix a little bit of white in with that color so I can see what color it's going to be when I start to blend it together on my canvas. If it's not a color that I like, then I'm going to change this color. If I like it, then I'll move on, and I like that, so I'm going to move on. My white paint has ran everywhere. I think that's enough color. If you're going to use this blending method and paint an entire landscape, because chances are you're probably not just going to paint just a blended background and then nothing else, but if you're going to paint a landscape, make sure you mix up enough of this color so that if you have any kind of background trees, you can use this color for your background trees. If you're going to paint fog, you can use this color in your fog. And whatever brush you use to pick this paint up and put it on your canvas, hang on to that brush, because you can use it if you have any issues with like brush hair coming out on your canvas. But I'll show you that at the end of the demonstration. I just kind of wanted to let you know, hang on to your color brush because it might be able to help you later on. Okay, I think I've got enough blue paint. I'm not certain though. So I'm going to mix up some more just in case, because I don't want to mess this up while making a tutorial after I just preached to you please mix up enough paint, and then I don't mix up enough paint. I don't want that to happen, so I'm going to mix up some more paint. All right, if that's not enough paint for this 12 by 12 canvas, then I don't know what would be. I'm going to test it again and make sure, because I changed that just a little bit. All right, that's good. Okay, so I've got my color, my white, and then I want some black. Don't need a whole lot of black though. Now I've got my cloth ready, and this is the brush I'm going to use to apply the white and then the color. And this is also the brush I'm going to hang on to in case I have any mistakes I need to fix. And I can use it if I want to continue this painting and paint like a landscape or something. Now, I do highly recommend that you use a pretty large brush to do this part. If I try to use a brush this size and I'm grabbing paint, trying to spread it all over this canvas, this is going to take me forever. If you use a bigger brush, like maybe like a medium-sized mop brush, you're going to be able to put that paint on there a lot quicker. And that means you're going to be able to blend quicker. And that's what we have to focus on the most, is blending really quickly, because you know acrylic paint dries super fast. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a whole lot of paint, okay? Really good amount of white paint. For some reason, my white paint dries faster than any other colors that I have. I don't know why, but it does. Okay, I'm going to cover like half of my canvas basically. Now, I'm going to remove some of that from my brush, and I'm going to grab my color. Ooh, I love that color. That's really pretty. I'm going to kind of bring that down a little bit into the white. And I am going to paint a landscape after we're done with this tutorial, so I'm going to go ahead and start painting a little bit of my ground down here. Okay. I'm going to wipe off some of that paint. Grab a little more of the dark blue. And I'm going to switch brushes to another clean one to add the black because I want to hang on to that mixture of blue and white, like we talked about earlier. I don't want any black in that brush. Grab some more blue, put it down here. I think my canvas is about to come off of my easel. I do not have time to be doing this. I hope this doesn't mess me up. I just stuck another piece of tape behind there because I think my canvas was about to fall down. Clean and dry mop brush, okay? I'm going to blend and swirl these colors together. Oh my goodness, it's drying. Those few seconds that I wasted. Wipe off my brush. Wipe it off. Go on up into the black. Now the reason I'm wiping off my brush is because I don't want all of my light color to be pulled down into my dark. There's going to be some, but I want this to stay light and I want this to stay pretty dark. So wiping off my brush halfway through helps with that. Another clean and dry mop brush, and now I'm going to crisscross. And my paint has dried because I stopped. I'm going to add some more white paint on here. Oh my goodness. Guys, this is why you want to have extra mop brushes. Okay, now I need another one to crisscross. Oh my goodness, this is drying so fast. Like way faster than usual. I'm not super worried about the bottom because that's going to be covered up with like trees and stuff, so I'm just going to focus on this. But I do want it to be a little blended. So I'm going to spend most of my time up here. But I'll be honest with you, I'm out of time. It's dry. It's almost completely dry. I'm at a point now where I can't blend anymore. Whoopsie. Get you back in. Let me get you back over here where you can see. Okay, so it's to the point now where I can't try to blend anymore. Those few seconds that I took trying to add some tape here because my canvas was wobbly, I guess that's probably what caused it. But I'm still happy with it. I used several mop brushes. 2 brushes to swirl, these 2 for the crisscross, and then my original brush, my black brush, and then my, oh my god, my paint is drying, I need more white paint brush. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mop brushes, just so that I could get that blended quick enough without having to redo it. Now you don't need 7 mop brushes. You don't have to have that many, but it does help having extra brushes on hand, and that was a perfect example of why. Now I can put these away. I'm not going to need these anymore. However, I'm going to hang on to this brush. I don't need the black one. And I might hang on to this one too because it's got more white in it and this one has more blue. Okay, so I have a couple of hairs, so I want to get rid of those. what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my hair dryer on it, but I'm not going to try to remove those hairs until the paint is completely dry. So I actually didn't have any issues with hair. Sometimes hair gets stuck and will leave little lines. Or sometimes this happens. Paint just gets pulled up. So I can't show you on this one how I would fix something like that, but I'm going to show you on this one, because I want to show you how to fix things in case you have a problem. Alright, I have 2 clean mop brushes left, and I have these. So I'm going to paint this the same color that I painted the other one. Repainting over top of this canvas is going to be a little more difficult than painting on a canvas that has no paint on it. So what I'm going to have to do is add a little bit of water to my brush. But first I've got to mix up some more paint. Mix it with a little bit of white, see what color it is. So that's fine. Now since I'm going to be using water, I don't need quite as much paint, but again, you don't want to be in the middle of blending and need more paint. So I'm going to put a little bit of water on this brush. Let me bring it somewhere where you can see it just a little bit better. I'm going to squeeze some of it out. I'm hooked up to a microphone over here, so mobility is limited. I'm going to grab, actually, I'm going to grab some more water. I'm going to put some water on this brush too. White paint. Alright, so this has been dry for like a day. So I'm going to add some white paint, and that is still not enough water. I can already tell. I want to pause this for just a second because I realized I didn't explain or show you how much water you actually need. You'll know you have enough water on your brush when your paint and your paintbrush just glides really smoothly across the canvas. If you'll notice how quickly and easily I can run my brush across the canvas, and it's just really, really smooth. I don't really have like a ratio to give you, but as long as it's smooth and blends across your canvas really quickly and easily, then you'll know you've got enough water. Gradient. Light to dark. I'm not going to try to put light in the middle. And I guess I'll go ahead and grab a little bit of black on this brush because I don't have any more brushes. All right. I've only got 2 shots at this one, because I only have 2 clean brushes left. Now, what you would want to do in this situation is go wash and dry your mop brushes. They have to be completely dry before you can blend. Now, you can wait a day for them to blend, or you can use your hair dryer on them. And when we get done with this, I'll show you how to show you how you can use your hair dryer on your mop brushes to get them to dry just a little bit faster. Sorry, but I need to pause again and clarify what I was trying to say there. If you need to repaint your canvas, like if you made a mistake or if there's something you want to fix and you need to repaint the entire canvas, your mop brushes have to be completely dry. If you try to blend with a wet brush, you're going to get these weird looking white streaks and it's not going to be real pretty. You can wait a day or so to let them dry on their own, or you can use a hair dryer, and I'll show you in just a few minutes how to do that. Okay, so that worked, and this time I only used 2 mop brushes. So you kind of got to see 2 demonstrations. So yeah, let me show you how to dry your mop brush. After you wash it, just kind of hold your brush back like this. You don't put it right on top of the brush. Hold it back a little bit, and I'm not going to put my hand in all that paint, but just kind of like do this to it and just like separate the hair a little bit, and it'll dry pretty fast. It'll only take like a couple seconds before it starts to get dry. So if you need to redo the entire thing, use the same steps, but this time you're going to add quite a bit of water. Now let's see if we've got any issues with this hair. Okay, we've got a couple little places. We've got like one little spot here where there's a little bit of canvas showing through. We can take a liner brush and we can use our paint from that brush that I told you to hang on to from earlier. Look for something close to that color. It's going to be in here somewhere, and it may take a few tries before you can find it, but honestly that's really not even that much of a mark. I personally would not touch that up, but for demonstration purposes, I guess, let's... Okay, that's way too dark. I'm mixing on the side of the brush. That's pretty close. So guys, that's about all I can think of to share with you. Between this video and the other acrylic blending video that I have, I think I've pretty much covered everything. I did try to include everything in this video. Not saying you shouldn't watch the other one. Definitely go watch it too, but I tried to include everything in this video. I wanted you guys to have a better view of everything that I was doing. I really think that will help you. So that's all I've got for today. Thank you guys for watching. Oh, and let me know in the comments if you have any more questions. I'd be more than happy to help. Thanks again.